We're here in Croke Park for the launch of the Liberty Insurance Camogie Championships, and we're delighted to be joined by the Dublin senior captain Eve O'Brien. Eve, we're 9 days out from the championship. Must be getting exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely can't wait for it now at this stage. So all the kind of last preparations we're doing now. We're kind of just, we have a couple of challenge matches, challenge match this week, and then just easing into it. But kind of done all the work now, so it's sort of just like that, just last minute things put in place. But yeah, we're absolutely buzzing for it, really up for it. We're really just looking at our first game against Clare. Haven't thought any further than that. So
yeah, your opening two games are both at home. You've got Clare and I think it's Galway in the second game. I'd say it's important to get something out of at least one of those games in the group.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, the Clare game to us is crucial, absolutely vital that we win that game. So it's really a must-win for us going into the campaign. Like, we want to start strong against Clare. We haven't really talked much about Galway, and really just trying to concentrate on the first game and then push on. But obviously, first two games at home in O'Toole Park, like, you couldn't ask for better pitch. Like, we've played there a few times this year, so we like playing there. We're well used to it. We're training a bit there, so we have the advantage there as well. Playing that pitch, so we're just like they are crucial games. We'd hopefully like to win both of those games, just put us in a good stead for the rest of the campaign.
Because it's a tough enough group as well. You've got Waterford and who's the other team you have in there? You've got Kilkenny, the All Ireland champions. You couldn't have asked for a tougher group, I suppose.
Yeah, like, I mean, to be honest, any of the teams that you come up against are just, they're all very good. Like, it's not really, I wouldn't mind having any of the other group either, to be honest. Like, there's no such thing as an easy group in this division. There's really just there's inches between each of the teams, just very small percentages in that sense. So I mean, I wouldn't write off any of the kind of, we'd be one of the teams that people would maybe put in the bottom end maybe as an easy match or something, but like, we're going to come out and show that that's not the case, that you need to be watching teams like ourselves, Offaly, Waterford, like, they're all up and coming, and you mentioned Kilkenny as All Ireland champions. Like, they're not exactly cruising through this year so far. They've we put them up to extra time in the Leicester Championship. They only won by a point in the end to Offaly, a game that could have easily lost. So like, I mean, it's really just small margins, a few points between each team. So, and when it comes to championship, like, anything can happen on the day, really. And
I suppose if you're going to win the All Ireland, you're going to have to play these teams at some stage. So why not in the group?
Exactly. I'm happy to come up against anyone. To be honest, I'd rather beat the best teams that are there, like that. The teams that people do regard as the top teams. Like, happy to go out and beat them in the group stages and then push on. Like, we're looking at quarter-final, semi-final. Like, you can't really look too far ahead in this competition. Like, anything can happen in those games. So, like I said, we just focus on the first game and we just go from there. Like, there's no point in getting worked up about the rest of it. The rest is a long summer, like, so.
And as it goes for Dublin, it's a new squad basically this year, and a new manager in David Harney. What has David brought to the table this year?
He's certainly brought a lot of experience. Obviously, like, people are looking at David. He's got a great career behind him himself, and he's played on probably one of the best teams of all time that we'll ever see. So, like, we were obviously delighted to have him on board, and he's really, transformed the team, really. Like, we have got a lot of new players in this year, like, so with him coming in, there's a lot of change there anyway, because a lot of the older players have retired, or more senior players in the panel. So, we're looking at a totally different Dublin team that people haven't seen before. He's brought a level of professionalism to the squad, a belief that we can be here in Croke Park, in August, like, or in September, lifting that cup. Like, it's not out of our reach. We've come on so much in the last 4 months. It's unbelievable. The squad is superb. Like, it's the serious talent of this squad. Like, and I honestly believe, like, with everything, like, David's obviously brought a lot in terms of his hurling and his managerial experiences. He's been brilliant, and honestly, haven't never played under anyone as good. And we also have extremely good, like, backroom team with strength conditioning and other things like that, physio. Like, everything we have everything there for us. Like, and I think the girls have just improved hugely over the league campaign. Learned a lot from, some wins and losses we've had, and just think the confidence levels going into this championship are high because we know we have the talent, so we just have to go out and perform. We know that we just need to be consistent throughout the whole campaign.
Yeah, because looking at through the league campaign, it started off fairly slow, and then with each game, the team progressed, and I think there was a few changes in personnel and positions, and all of a sudden it seemed to click, and the performances improved greatly through that. And you're quite unlucky not to win some of the games that you narrowly lost, including the semi-final in Leinster against Kilkenny, which, as you said, went to extra time.
Yeah, that's it. Some of those results, we look back on a bit, we should have kind of, we should have done Tip, Cork, a few of those games that we just, we didn't put them away. We didn't kind of last 10 minutes, of a game really just. That's where you need to up it a gear and kind of just learn to put teams away. Maybe we don't have that experience, that kind of winning mentality, winning habit. So that's what we've been trying to get into, and I think we showed it really well towards the end of the league against Wexford, being able to push on and just put the foot down and kind of finish teams off really. And we've been kind of as you say, some individuals have really come on and stepped up as leaders and leading the way in that sense. And we've been unlucky with a few injuries and that, but it's just literally a case of just someone else steps in and just takes their place. So it's in that sense, I just think we have so much potential really going into this, and if we've improved so much over this league, we don't want to look too much, we won't be looking back on those games. League's over now, Leinster's over, it's All Ireland now, and it's everyone knows that that's a totally different ball game really. So it's going to be a different squad going out with all that experience behind us, and we'll be using it, I suppose, to go into the first game. Yeah.
Looking back at the squad, it's a brilliant squad that's been assembled through the league, and it's probably an unfair question to ask, but which players have really stood out for you on your own team?
Well, I think starting at number one really, we've a super keeper there, Faye McCarthy. She's very, very solid there in the goal. She's kind of come onto this squad. This is her first year on the panel. I think one of the things that other teams have been picking up is obviously she's a fantastic shot stopper, but her puck out is a real advantage to us. We're especially as a back myself, it's just great to have that. It really kind of puts pressure on straight away from a puck out and gives the backs a chance to regroup. She's really just come on leaps and bounds from the start of the season. Someone who's really improved hugely and really benefited from, I think, the training and everything that has brought her on hugely. So she's real solid there. Other players that have come on, I think another person making their debut this year, Hannah Haggerty. From the same club as Faye, she's playing wing back. She's kind of moving into forwards all over the pitch really, but she's really stood out. Very good in the air, very quick, very kind of makes a real impact on the team. Other players, I suppose, standing out. We've Emer McCarthy and Miriam Toomey in the centre. I think they've been very consistent and very solid the whole way through. And then we have some other some girls in the forwards there between Zoe O'Donoghue, who's had a few good games, and all the forward line really are kind of coming on. It's kind of very changed up a lot. I'm just trying to think of anyone else, but yeah, they'll probably kill me there for not mentioning them. But look, the whole panel has so much to offer, and I think our game, our support play and everything that's come on is really just, every single player on the pitch has to be fit, and I really think our fitness levels are, everyone in the squad is, it's extremely good, compared to some of the other teams we've played. We can see that our fitness is up there with the best, so that's really important as well, I think.
Your captain for this year, that must have been an honour for you when you were asked to do that.
Absolutely, yeah. No, when I got the call, I was pretty shocked. It's only my second year on this panel, so I wasn't expecting, to be honest, to be joint captain with Laura Toomey, who unfortunately was injured at the start of the season. So she's still obviously with us, but you know, not playing at the moment, unfortunately, a big loss. But like that, someone else has to just step in and take her place. But yeah, no, I'm delighted to be captain. I'm kind of easing into it a bit more now, and I just, you know, we've a lot of leaders on our team anyway, so you know, it doesn't just fall from one or two people. Like, we've got a lot of players that can step up and lead girls, and I think it's really needed at the moment going into this competition. It can be, you know, it's a lot of pressure, a lot of people making their debuts as well, so you know, they'll be feeling that kind of pressure coming up to, you know, maybe a bit of nerves and that. And we need to just drive it on, and I'm absolutely, yeah, it's a complete honour to lead this team. And I mean, I've obviously got, you know, the goal of being here in Croke Park in September, so I want to be the one leading them out of the tunnel, like, so that's you know, what you kind of think, what your dream of. So yeah, I couldn't believe it, and I'm still kind of, you know, shocked that I'm still here. But yeah, if they have me, yeah, I'll still be here in September. So
okay, one of the bugbears that keeps coming back, particularly for lady sport, is the lack of supporters coming to games. You know, what would you say to supporters who maybe have not seen a Camogie game or attended a Camogie game? What would you say to maybe convince them to come out and, you know, at least come out for one match and have a look?
Yeah, well, look, our game is, yeah, like we suffer in that way because for whatever reason, you know, we're just not getting as much support. I think, like, in terms of convincing people to come out, like, it's an extremely exciting game. I think, like, the reason maybe people don't realise that is because they're not really exposed to it, in, you know, on the news and things like different media outlets. For example, like Irish Times Sports section, you open it up, there's about, you know, 2 centimetres dedicated to Camogie. Results, they don't cover any matches. They, you know, like you see like junior D hurling getting more kind of I suppose exposure. Like, it's the responsibility of that falls onto like the media outlets, you know, television, newspapers, online. A lot of people are making an effort, but some people aren't, and I think, you know, like, it needs to be said that our game is just as exciting, just as, you know, like, we do exactly the same thing as all the lads do in terms of our preparation, you know, our training, everything. We put in the exact same amount of effort, and as a result, like, our game has come on so much in the last even 5 years that I've been playing, like, maybe around this level. I just can't believe how much better the standard and the hurling is getting. So, you know, I would encourage people to come out if they haven't gone to a Camogie match in a while, or maybe they haven't gone to see the county teams play, to come out and just see what has to be offered, because, like, some of the games we've had this year have been fantastic. And like, I know my friends of mine and my club mates and that, like, coming out to see the games, like, thoroughly enjoy them. So the more people we do get, like, you know, the more funding we'll have, the more, like, it'll just drive the sport on for everyone. And I think that's, you know, that's key. So everyone really needs to kind of encourage everyone in the community to come out and support, you know.
Okay, well, thanks for your time. Best of luck on Saturday week against Clare and for the rest of the championship.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.